Actually, no episode this is. It's been like 4 weeks since we did this.
59, 60?
Nah.
Really?
61. I come over a little bit. Ah. Did you grind it out today? Did you? And today's gonna be a doozy of a topic. It was Savon Rashad.
And I'm Keisha.
Hanging with the Joneses, episode 61.
We're back.
Yeah.
Took a little break.
Yeah, a little break, a little vacation, a little this, a little that. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, which you should already have done. YouTube, if you're on a podcast listening via any streaming service, thank you. So what's been going on? It's a quick update. How have you been?
I'm busy. Busy. I'm sure everyone can see because of what's going on in the world, Haiti, having the casualties in Afghanistan and their casualties and the troops leaving. A lot of people and COVID numbers are increasing. Now there's even rare form of disease and this variant of COVID in school about to open up. It is triggering a lot of people. Mental health is on the rise. We're seeing more and more mental health requests, more and more suicidal ideations or attempts.
Yeah, Keisha does suicide prevention, so
yeah,
that's why this is kind of her. What she's saying is why she's saying this rather. And
also, I can kind of see directly how it's doing because a lot of veterans are getting triggered about what's going on, and it's just. They're remembering about days they was at war and just kind of seeing the process. So I'm getting a lot of individuals who are triggered by it's kind of like pick your topic.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Way to dour note to start this.
You asked me what's new. He asked me what's new. That's what's new in my world. Mental health.
Off of mental health is one of the most unfunnest worlds ever. But yeah, I'm chilling though, getting ready to go back to work and deal with those same type things just with kids. So
and some of your
colleagues too.
Yeah. How you feel about going back in the building?
I mean, I wasn't a fan the first time, so
you say you wasn't prepared?
I don't know, I wasn't a fan the first time.
Okay. So, I really wonder if it's gonna shut back down.
I don't know. I'm not sure if it's gonna shut back down or not, but the way most states have it set up, they don't care how it's gonna play out. Them kids gonna be in classes. Mm-hmm. That's what they really are shaping up for. So,
but some I can't remember what state actually did that, and like everybody caught COVID, so they had to shut down.
Yeah, I mean I do understand, but like that's the current plan. Is the current plan? Everybody is in the building. Everybody's have to wear their mask. And like I was telling my little brother yesterday, this is just going to have to be something else that we're going to have to police on top of the regular, everyday, normal stuff. Like, fam, put your mask on. Put your mask on. Put your mask on. All right.
I don't have a mask.
Go to the nurse. Go to the front office.
They say they don't have no mask. Or go to the nurse and they in the building. It's
a lot of moving parts. And this is just one more added thing that I'm not really super excited about, but it is what it is. It's not a contract, so.
And I think, unfortunately, that we're gonna respond being more of reactive than proactive. And I know a lot of places, especially here in Virginia, it's not pretty much any like let's put precaution in place just in case. It's like once it happened, like okay, now let's do the cleanup work. It's like you could have prevented this, and unfortunately. In a lot of other places, it's more of let's be reactive than try to prevent something from happening.
Yeah, the unfortunate truth is most institutions are reactive instead of proactive. Mm-hmm. That's just kind of how.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's how humanity works. To be honest, we rather not prepare for something, but just try to clean it up
at the end.
Yeah,
when then you're using all your more resources for the cleanup than if you had to put something in place.
Right.
But I have a feeling, that's the scary part, that even being part of the reactive, what that reaction that usually comes when someone has to get sick or lose their life.
Of course, I mean
that's the scary. That's really is the scary part.
that's almost like the ultimate price for anything. It kind of transitions into what I want to talk about. The understanding of knowing one's worth, like, and knowing one's value. Like, I know for me, even going back into work, or just my everyday life, or what I do, what I like to do. Like, I have to understand what my value is to the thing, and also how people value or don't value or just devalue me within that construct in itself.
And I think that's the hard thing, because you have to, despite how other people value, because, okay, we're just going back to the reactive and preventative, because it was like, if you really care about people's lives, you would have a preventative. So the fact that you still have to work out of that mind frame that you're still important, despite of what the state, job, city, government, whatever says about you. And how do you manage the two? Putting value, I'm valuable all my life, but then have to go to a workforce who's like, oh.
Yeah, you kind of expendable.
Yeah.
And
even though you're really not, because they're really stuck, but they sometimes still want to give the impression like.
I think that's the reality of almost anybody that is at any sort of job that has to always hire. If even if it's not like a quote unquote revolving door, but you have the ability. Okay, it's like this. My value my value only goes as far as I can be replaced. So if I can be replaced, then my value is only good while I am there. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand, where they'll invest a lot of themselves into a job, a profession, a thing, a person, or whatever. But then when either you have to go or you pass away or whatever happens to you, they're just going to hire somebody else to fill your spot and just keep it moving.
Yeah. Well, how do you still thrive in that type of environment? Because I think I want to say, I know I've been in an environment like that, where they're kind of like, it was kind of said outright, we can replace you. It's like, okay, but then they really couldn't, because nobody wanted the job either. Remember that one? They couldn't find nobody. But in the hard part, because that really can wear on your stress. That really can wear on you, on your coping skills, because it's only so much. Because usually those jobs who put like no value on you, they're not healthy.
Nah.
They're not healthy. So over time, staying there, you sometimes can take that in, or you feel like you're always fighting against the man.
Yeah.
So it's hard. What do you do to keep yourself motivated, encouraged, and fighting?
I feel like, one, just to keep motivation up, you have to know the reason that you're working. Like, I don't really work for my job. I work for my family. Like, that's why I go to work, to be, a part of the provisional faction, which is only me and you. You know what I'm saying? Even with Des having a job, she ain't paying no bills. So definitely that. Also,
wait, she was supposed to pay. Wait, you just bought something. You just remind me of something. Yeah, she was supposed to be paying for her cell phone bill. Okay, go back. I'm sorry. Just trigger that.
Wow. That also, understanding that the value of what I do within the constructs is valuable to me. You know what I'm saying? Also valuable to the kids I have to teach. Yeah. So that's the only those have to be the thing for me that kind of keep me motivated and also keep me grounded. Yeah. Because people have this tendency to think, because you teach, that you should be like, super magnanimous and like, altruistic about what you do, which is not realistic at times. Because if your admin sucks and then you have to then go around and be there in spite of them and not have them be an asset to you, then all that pressure and stress gets laid on your lap, and then you're asked to do what? You still are going to teach these kids. And this is regardless of what anybody else does. Also, there's the dynamic of admin, teacher, student, and you don't really want to go around in open disregard for the people who are above you, because then the people below you, the kids, are going to automatically be like, man, Jones don't even respect them, so I got to respect them.
They pick it up.
So there's just an order that has to be maintained, because if you don't, then it could low-key be like, organized chaos.
And I think that what helps me too, that first one, what you're saying, if you're even in a job that's kind of like, like, I hate, like, when I pull up, I get sick or something. Sunday morning, I get a cough.
Talk about that.
About Sunday morning getting a cough?
Yeah, about how, like your environment can make you sick.
It is very true. It's very true. It's psychosomatic, but your environment really can make you sick. And
psychosomatic meaning?
Whatever you think, that's kind of how your body reacts. So if you even, I know I've been in some jobs, literally the scent of the job made me sick. And then with some people, if you're in the job really not liking it, Sunday you start getting sick because you're anticipating Monday is going to be a day, or whatever day you work, you kind of get sick the day off because the next day you're going to have to. And then it makes it hard to enjoy the week because you're really maybe only enjoying Friday and Saturday. And then I'm just saying, if anyone work like Monday through Friday, everyone's like, yes, this is the last day, we going back. Everybody may be happy to go to work. Saturday, you're like, okay. Sunday, you might be like, oh, tomorrow's work, So be careful with that. Be careful. I have been there, and sometimes I'm still there. Sometimes I'm like, it is a Monday. So that's why with me, I don't schedule any clients on Mondays. I don't. I know for my own mental health, I need a breather. I do not schedule on Mondays. I don't schedule anything on Mondays. But I still do my full-time job, so it's not like a complete option. Like Mondays, I'm just stay at home. But however, what also came to me, even that concept, because let's say we have a holiday on a Monday, so you go to work on a Tuesday. Tuesday feel like Monday. It really didn't make a difference, But so what I have to do, very much have to do, is look at the end in sight. So I'm not here working for company, organization. So I'm working for the Joneses. And then on top of that, I'm working for our goals. Personal, family, and children our goals with our children.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at this. Is just a means to the end. So I try not to get caught up of the organization because I'm just doing this to get to my end goal. Yeah. Once I make that end goal, which should be a zillionaire, I might quit it. But honestly, that's I have to keep looking at that because even in mental health, it could be overwhelming. And being a social worker, just like you said, we're expected to be all, and we're the scapegoats for a lot of people, but we're the population that doesn't get acknowledged. Like so many even commercials I see about COVID and pandemic, like special shout out to our first responders, and they name everybody. They even named like the maintenance people. I said, but daggone, no one mentioned social workers. We're out there too. We're out there. We're out there treating the doctors, the nurse, the patients, the maintenance worker, the other social worker. We're out there. So the same thing, and being in the when you have a license through an organization where you are the underdogs, even though you get pulled on. I can't explain how much I get pulled on just for being a social worker. But the same token, I get ignored for being a social worker. I mean, I have gotten asked by doctors to write their orders for them. That's not legal. I cannot write any order for anyone. I can write a diagnosis, only mental health. I got asked to write that, so stuff like that. But it could be hard to keep the motivation.
Yeah.
Because so often you feel like you're being down.
So with that, how do you maintain? Okay, so yes, so that individual in that situation, how can they maintain a healthy understanding of what their value and worth is to the in that situation?
You know what I do? And my team, my supervisor, we laugh at this. I am excellent in implementing healthy boundaries. That's what helped me keep on float, because if I keep letting you assign and throw things on me, eventually that takes me down. It's like I'm allowing you to throw your junk on me. Eventually, I'm human. It's going to take me down. I implement healthy boundaries. So when people, can you? Nope. Nope. I'm gonna do. Nope. Go ahead. Tell. And they try, well, I'm gonna speak to such and such. Okay, here's the number. Call. Because also being a license, no one can tell me what to do with my license. And also, I know it's manipulation. So that's another way. Healthy boundaries. I do not let them to. They can't make me do anything I don't want to do. Like we say, we have a volatile situation. Like it's volunteer, like, but it's really you're told to do it. You know, I don't. Nope, I don't accept it. Do I have to do it? Okay, I'm not. But we can make it. Thank you. I'm not. So that really helps me.
But like, how long did it take you to get there?
I think I've been here for a while, but let you know, you got also the other hand is you gotta accept the consequences.
That's what. But like, how long did it take you to get to this place? Like. So you've been working for the past almost 20 years. How long did it take you to get to this place where like, yo, like I need to start implementing some actual boundaries at work? Because I just want to give you some context. You were definitely the epitome of a hard worker.
Yes.
And also the epitome of I feel obligated to my work.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is in direct opposition to that. So let's be honest. When did you start to really realize that you couldn't do that?
Well, go back. I still feel like I'm obligated to my work. I'm obligated to my work during my work hours. So I'm still obligated.
Okay.
You know, because even when you're going back, while I did other stuff, I kind of got in trouble because I'm not doing that. You know, but however, you guys think you gotta understand the consequences for that, even though you may be right. This situation, I'm feeling more comfortable in the consequences, because also some of the things they might have me request of me can risk me losing my license. So I rather, hopefully it don't come down to that, but I'd rather lose my job than to lose my livelihood. And even with the other person, remember, I had to tell some people, I'd rather lose you as a friend than to lose my license.
True.
So I'd say it's been there for a while. And people say, why would you say that? Situation where a person may be suicidal or had a suicide attempt. I'm giving you instructions on how to deal with it, and you kind of bypass me or like no. As a social worker, the first thing you do is come to the person. I came to the person, the person wouldn't listen. At that point, I had to go higher up. Why? Because the fact that if someone was to report it, knowing that I was there, I can lose my license behind that. So it was kind of like, hey, I'm giving you an opportunity. They want to listen. I had to go higher up. And I told that person, I'd rather lose you than my livelihood. After a while, we won't know each other anyway. But that's what they always kind of got me. They was like, you always just kind of say it. Huh? It came with consequences sometimes. But I always just said it.
Yeah.
But it takes me a while to get, it takes me a while to get there.
Nah, I be there day one.
You sure do. You sure? I'm like, dang,
I'm very comfortable with setting up boundaries from day one, because I want you to know who I am and where I stand. And I'm not saying like I'm just going to be contrarian for no reason. Mm-hmm. However, my work hours is my work hours, and the misconception that I hate about teachers is that, my first teaching job, I had somebody from school board was like, during orientation, I said, hey, when do we get out of school? It was like,
That's my stomach.
are you sure?
Yeah, that's my stomach.
Okay. It's your stomach.
It was. Shut up.
Oh my God. So first job, lady from the school board, and I asked her, I said, look, what time we get out of work? She said 3:10. But you'll probably end up being here longer than that anyway, because you're a teacher. I looked at her and smiled and said, no, I'm not. Because when I work, like, I try to grind the whole day out. And I also need to make sure that I have some for my family when I get home.
Yes.
And a lot of times, especially teachers will feel so obligated to teaching y'all kids that they neglect themselves and their own. Because there was a time where I was at work, like really working hard, and I was focusing, and my blood pressure was so high. It was sky high. It was
Same here.
My blood pressure was like 165 over like 110, 111. And I didn't even understand why. And it just was stress.
From a job.
Stress from job, stress from home, stress I put on myself. Just the I can't even say, the burden of just trying to make it through the day. And I had to totally reconceptualize how I viewed my myself in regards to my worth in regards to other people, because I didn't even look at it like this. I was talking to my counselor early on, and she said, well, what is it you do? And I named all the stuff I do. And it was like a lot of stuff. Like, what's your regular day, Rashad? And I went down the line. She was like, wow, you're in service to a lot of people. And then she then regurgitated what I said back to me. And I was like, damn, I am in service to a lot of people. She said, so it's not the fact, because for a minute, like, I was feeling like I was weak because I couldn't handle my own stress. Like, this is what people do all the time. So I was devaluing what I did. And she was like, no, like, you really in service to a lot of people. You need to understand that this is a lot to handle. So we got to find better ways to cope with the stress so you can still be able to be in service for all these people.
And see, and that's another thing I never did good on because I have sometimes employers who are like, okay, your hours are 9 to 5, but sometimes you might need 9 to 10. No. I'm not agreeing to that now. Especially when I signed my contract, that was never in there. But being a super social worker, I said that. And I think that's incredible manipulation, and those are unhealthy boundaries. Now, while you got me here, I'm working. I'm gonna do everything I can do so I don't have to. Now, if it's my fault, okay, I gotta make it up. But if it ain't, I'm not staying. No.
I know, cause I know a lot. Because then the flip side to that is there are a lot of people who tie their value and worth in their job and career, and then you get those people who do all the extra crap, do all the unnecessary stuff, or like we out here outside of work hours. You think about job 11 o'clock at night, can't go to sleep. And then that becomes the quote unquote standard for everybody else. I'm like, nah, like, I'm not doing that. Like,
working to like literally like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and you was there like 6 o'clock in the morning.
No,
I am never doing that.
Like, that's crazy. Like, y'all not paying me for these extra hours. Y'all don't even want to give me the paycheck I got right now.
But when you say, and that is so important, Rashad, about you can't, your work is what you do, but my work can't be me. Because I'm having so many people now, especially people who are active duty, coming out of the military, and it's like, I was trained to be named whatever career. Now that I'm not that, who am I? But that career was never you anyway. That was just a job. And so and I'm just saying that, but even other people retire from different fields. It's like I'm used to teacher was me, such and such was me. Who am I now? And I don't want to get to the place where social worker is me. You know what I mean? Teacher is you. So if you're not in the building, you kind of feel like this place.
Yeah, and even with this, like, they even kind of go to the next level of this conversation. You are a social worker. I'm a teacher. every day.
But that's just, but even that, a job doesn't make me a social worker.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, before I ever stepped foot in the class, I always been a teacher. And likewise, you was always a social worker. So that is, who I am is what I am. Like, my gift is who I am. My profession is just how I get to exercise my gift.
Right. But I don't have to be, like you said, I don't have to be in here to exercise my gift.
Nah.
If I'm on the corner teaching kids ABCD, you're exercising your gift.
Exactly.
If you're behind this teaching people life lessons or how to use a camera or product, you're exercising your gift. So that's the thing I'm trying to make sure not to fall into that category.
Well, because think about it, because it's hard for you not to help people.
Yeah, I even feel guilty for not helping people.
You feel
that's
what I'm
another
saying?
unhealthy one.
Yeah.
I do.
We'll talk about it some other time. You had to find it very difficult to when you are not in a place to be able to assist, because that's what's in your heart. Like, I have a hard time when I can't explain something to somebody, and I'll know what I'm saying, and they just don't get it. I feel like that's a failure on me. When it could just be a failure on them, or I could just not be the one to communicate this message to them. Either way, I'm teaching all the time. You're definitely helping all the time.
I think that's the balance that comes in between us.
How so?
Because a lot of times, especially when together, he would say something, they'll look at me and it's like, okay, what he really means is I'll become your interpreter for him. And sometimes with the giving, I have times when I'm being used, be honest with you.
I'll be like, yo, you gotta fall back.
He'll call it out and like put a block in it real quick.
You gotta fall back, because especially when we're gonna stop on this. Anytime it starts to take away from yourself or from what you think is really important, when it starts to take time away from that. And I'm not talking about like a healthy sacrifice for somebody because somebody's in need, but it's just, you just feel you being manipulated and used, then cut it off. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, the person or the people or the organization that is using you will continue to use you and then throw you away when they're done with you. And
that is
true. And what'll happen, you're going to have a whole lot of trauma and hurt because...
And they moved on.
Yeah, and they don't care nothing about you.
And that's my point. And I think that's the balance. Like we're saying, balance. You help me disconnect from things I'm not supposed to. Because I can have, like, he always make fun of me. Like, you have a hard time ending stuff. I do. So he'll help me disconnect. However, once I'm disconnect.
Yeah.
I'm like done, which is sometimes scary.
Yeah.
Once I'm disconnect. I forget, which that can be a blessing sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. It's a real. It can be difficult navigating self-worth and self-value, but it's necessary, especially nowadays, because as we get older, like, our values can tend to shift, but we still have to be anchored in what we truly believe in and what we know ourselves to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's good when people recognize who you really are, but it's even better when you really understand who you really are.
Absolutely.
And that's a real good place to be, because when you start to understand who you are, then you can make moves and move in life better, because, like, all right, this is who I really am. These are my standards. If you're not gonna really meet my standards, then I'm gonna have to change how I move around y'all.
And this is important about realizing who you are and your goals and your gifts and talents, because people are gonna be for or against you no matter what you do.
Yeah.
So you might as well do what's true to you, because if you can please other people, and it's gonna be a whole nother set of people who don't like you, or the person you're trying to please not like you. Might as well be who I am, because someone's gonna rise, some not. It's okay.
Yeah, I already know. Rashad ain't for everybody, yo. Like, and I'm comfortable with that. I've had to be. Like I get it. Like, I'm not. You may not mesh. You know what I'm saying? But I totally get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for this episode. Appreciate your time if you stayed. It was the whole time. Definitely back with the consistency of the pod. Try to drop some stuff either way, just to kind of fill it in. But yeah, back to our regular grind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bad like we never left.
Yeah, pretty much. Shout out Swoop. That's all we got though. We see you next week.